The housing crisis has gotten worse and worse every year that this coalition of the uncaring has been in office, because housing policy in this state does not serve the interests of ordinary people, of workers, of families, of renters, of people looking to buy their first home. It has nothing to do with looking after communities or providing security for children. Instead, it is not really a crisis, but a permanent part of how capitalism works. It enriches landlords and landowners off the backs of renters and workers. And thanks to the Labour Party for bringing forward this motion. There's a lot of things in the motion that we agree with: better security for tenants, compulsory purchase of vacant and derelict buildings by local authorities, bigger housing targets. The only thing is that it's a shame that the Labour Party didn't do any of that when it was in office. Alan Kelly was Minister for Housing from July 2014 to May 2016, and during those 3 calendar years, less than 500 social homes were built by local authorities across the entire state. The Labour Party sowed the seeds of the housing disaster when they were last in government, so why should anyone believe that they will be any different if they manage to get back in again? All the good proposals in this motion are probably just, quote, what you do during an election, as Pat Rabbitte famously admitted, and we all know that there are elections around the corner. We in People Before Profit have been campaigning for many of the measures in this motion for years and years. We introduced private members' motions last year to extend, widen and then reintroduce a total ban on economic evictions. We have been fighting for real rent controls to limit rents to a maximum of 25% of a household's income, for councils to buy all suitable properties where a tenant is being evicted on grounds of sale, and to CPO vacant and derelict housing and to use it for social housing. Unfortunately, none of this and the protests that we have been involved in organising have succeeded up to this point. The housing crisis has gotten worse and worse every year that this coalition of the uncaring has been in office. Why is this happening? Why, at a time of massive government surpluses, full employment, economic growth, has the government not been able to fulfil the most basic human need of a roof over your head? Because housing policy in this state does not serve the interests of ordinary people, of workers, of families, of renters, of people looking to buy their first home. It has nothing to do with looking after communities or providing security for children. Instead, it is not really a crisis, but a permanent part of how capitalism works. It enriches landlords and landowners off the backs of renters and workers. It lines the already bulging pockets of builders, developers, banks and vulture funds. A third of Fianna Fáil TDs are landlords. 27% of Fine Gael TDs are landlords. But that obvious conflict of interest hasn't stopped them from voting to lift the eviction ban or from participating in a government that has relentlessly driven up rents and housing prices. We will get crocodile tears from them, like the Labour Party, but we should judge them by their actions, not by their words. We need to kick the lot of them out at the next election. We need a real left government that will take on the landlords, banks and developers, that will CPO vacant property and land, including the vast amount of empty office space left behind after yet another commercial property crash, that will set up a state construction company to directly build the social and affordable housing that we need, and that will put the right to a home before the right of all these people, all these corporations, to profit.